across the Sierras and also into parts of Nevada just north of Vegas. You can see where the rain is coming down. It is clearing out here, but our 48-hour rainfall totals very impressive over the mountains of the Inland Empire, the San Gabriel Mountains, lesser amounts, of course, at the beaches. But even a drop in the bucket is something we definitely need here in downtown Los Angeles. You guys, it's been an interesting summer, that's for sure, but at least it's keeping our fire danger down here in Southern California.
Very good news.
And we hear that it's a special anniversary for you, Crystal.
Yep.
The anniversary of your 21st birthday.
So
congratulations.
since we don't want to sing because it costs too much money to sing it, we're going to do it in spoken word. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dearest Crystal. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you to the Weather Channel family there. I appreciate that. What a great birthday. And to see Jim Cantori there this morning. I know that took some energy drinks, Jim.
It did, Crystal. It wasn't enough for me to come out to Los Angeles last week. You weren't there, but I had to come back to the studio and work mornings.
I was on vacation, actually ended up in San Diego, where all I wanted was a beach day for my birthday, and the rain ruined all that. But you know what? Who cares? We needed it. We just sat back and we all enjoyed the rain. So.
Spoken like a true meteorologist.
Yeah. We love you, Crystal.
Thanks, guys.
Have a wonderful day, hon. All right, see ya. Well, talking about rain in the southeast as well, and actually in a pattern where we're going to see that chance just about every day. So check out amazing picture of lightning over the Florida Everglades. Look at that. That is fantastic. Woo. You can get more picturesque shot of that lightning. Robert Chaplin submitted this one on Twitter. So let's take a look at some of the storms. It's going to be pretty heavy where it does storm. And in fact, I got to check out some storms when I was on vacation, the Outer Banks last week. These were about 90 miles offshore.
Look at that.
And then notice the top, there were clear skies over me, so I got the stars, I got the lightning and the storm, and of course the dunes. That's right, spoken like a true meteorologist, right? Well, you have more showers and thunderstorms offshore, places like Myrtle Beach and Charleston, but man, they're hammering places like Cape Hatteras and parts of the Outer Banks again this morning. That boundary, that stationary front, well, it's focusing the moisture. You have Bertha. Believe it or not, you're not going to get that direct impact with, the wind, but that tropical moisture isn't going anywhere, so you have that feeding into this area. Precipitable water, pre-watts, right? We were talking about that earlier, that available moisture, if you could max it out, well, it translates to heavy rainfall potential. So looking at going forward through the lunch hour, scattered showers and thunderstorms inland. Your best chance will be along the coast here, and again, some of those will be on a washout side. Notice southern Florida to Miami could be enough for some street flooding, especially during that evening rush.
All right, well, folks who caught the Ebola virus outside of this country have landed on American soil this morning to be treated. Anna Rittis, and that has a lot of people wondering what's going on with the Ebola outbreak.
That's right. Good morning, Sam. This is the first Ebola case on American soil. And during our 8 o'clock hour, you spoke with Dr. Alex Isakov of Emory. And he says that the only care they're able to provide this American doctor is supportive care while his body fights this infection. Dr. Kent Brantley is said to be improving. He arrived in the U.S. Saturday and is in isolation. Ebola comes from infected bats in Africa and is spread among people through contact with bodily fluids. There is no cure for the disease that produces high fever, body aches, and bleeding. There's also some news this morning for a second American with Ebola. Nancy Wrightball on your screen, seen here with her husband, was working as a missionary in Liberia. She is said to be recovering, but will be brought to the U.S. using the same precautions as Dr. Brantley tomorrow. The Coast Guard is praising 4 adults and 4 children they rescued off of Hawaii Sunday, saying the group was well prepared even though their sailboat sank. They managed to tie 3 kayaks together to hang on to until the Coast Guard arrived. All 8 people were wearing life vests and had all the emergency beacons, even radios, needed to call for help. Good for them. And police in California make an unusual arrest. Take a look, meet Clark. He's a 150-pound tortoise who managed to escape his home. It took 2 officers to pick the 150-pound reptile up. And even though it's against the penal code to own a tortoise in Alhambra, the police say that they like keeping families together. Next time they should have called Jim to pick up that turtle, because you probably do that to warm up.
Yeah, Jim.
That's your warm up?
I don't know. That's
just like
that's a heavy piece of machinery right there.
It's a curl, basically, Jim. It's just a curl.
Turtle curl.
All right, we come back. We're going to talk about Tropical Storm Bertha. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening, otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hot stuff.
Not turning the thermostat down.
That's not what I was doing. I was just having fun. Come here. Nice and tight. Atta girl.
Daddy.
There's a sweet spot. Hold on. That didn't happen in practice.
There's a better way. Mitsubishi Electric Systems give you the temperature you want in any room with no ductwork and lower energy bills. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. Live better. Go to MitsubishiComfort.com.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Hey, Super Mama.
You gotta check out this Walmart back-to-school event.
Okay.
A Toshiba Touch laptop, just $349.
Sounds good.
Super comfy boy socks, only $497.
Oh, I definitely need socks.
Sharpie permanent markers, only $397.
That sounds good. Wow. A 10-inch tablet with a built-in keyboard.
That sounds good.
Get to Walmart's back-to-school savings event August 1st through 10th and save even more on Cyber Monday, August 4th. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander. For a cleaner, healthier home. Certified. It's our new standard of clean. Call now about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing two men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
Do you remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson Digital Motor? Before it gave the DC59 Motorhead powerful suction and perfect balance in your hand for cleaning those difficult-to-reach places? And before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush bar power by 75%? DC59 Motorhead outcleans the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
42 minutes after the hour. Thank you for being with us right here on AMHQ. Anaritas Rodriguez, Maria La Rosa, and I'm Sam. Breaking news just into the newsroom. The water ban in Toledo, we've been following this story, has been lifted. Nearly 500,000 people were without water up until this morning because a toxic algae seeped into the city's water supply. It was a huge story, and many other communities are watching this story because it's possible in just about any community that has a lake. So our Scott Newell is live in Toledo with how the community has been dealing with this ordeal. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Good morning. You know, after about 3 days of this, about 2.5 days, finally, residents can go back to drinking their tap water. And here's how it all unfolded The mayor just about a few minutes ago, just about 6-7 minutes ago, said no, the water is safe. They have been testing the water. For all weekend, residents have been drinking bottled water. They've been lining up at stations to fill the containers, water trucked in from other cities, because the level of the toxin produced by the algae bloom was too high. It was 1 part per billion, which was just about what the WHO, World Health Organization, says is allowable, the maximum level. The mayor this morning at 3 a.m. said he wasn't ready to make that call then, but apparently just a few minutes ago he's ready to make that call. And the good news is that from what we understand, but make sure you check on this, the residents don't have to flush out their systems. They can just go ahead and use the water as it is now. So, again, to finally wrap all this up, the water ban for drinking tap water here in Toledo and in some surrounding communities is lifted. Back to you, Sam.
All right. Thank you so much for that breaking and brand new information, Scott. And as you can imagine, a lot of people in the Toledo area are still quite nervous.
I would be.
Yeah, and shaken by the whole thing. So back to the water crisis we go, and it's even more far-reaching than Toledo city limits. Just a half hour to the south in Waterville, Ohio, one resident, the mother of a 9-year-old, is also feeling the pinch of Toledo's water ban. So Melissa Weiss is joining us live by phone. We have her with us now. Good morning, Melissa. It's Sam, Maria, and Anaritis. Can you hear us?
Yes, I sure can. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I know this has been difficult because you've got a child at home, but just talk to us a little bit about what it has been like for you and what you've had to do. Great shot of you, by the way, on the phone. You're gorgeous, lady. What have you been trying to do to get through this water problem?
You know what? We just make light of it. Throw the kids in the pool, use baby wipes to wipe down. We feel fortunate to where we do not, nor do we want to stand in the lines and take away water from people who desperately needed it. So we just compromise. You don't realize how much of a natural resource and how important water is. So dishes have piled up some, used paper plates. Went to the store, bought donuts for breakfast so we wouldn't have to do more dishes. And you just make, it's a learning lesson for the children. Plus, you realize that dishes don't always have to be done and laundry is not always needed.
Okay.
Are you going to have that added caution moving forward? The water ban has been lifted, but this is the type of ban where sometimes you have a boil order ban where if you boil it, it gets rid of the toxins, but this one, if you boil it, it makes it worse. So what lengths are you going to go through to get fresh water in the coming days, or are you going to
worry
use
about it at all?
water?
Yeah. Are you going to worry about it?
No, we're healthy. If anyone in my family had a immune, compromise or had any cuts and scrapes, I'd be a little bit more concerned, but we're pretty healthy. So I'm going to water the grass. We need rain desperately, and maybe a little bit of rain and a little bit of a wind shift will clear the algae out of the area, but I'm going to water my grass and clear up the lines that way. I've already ran the dishwasher, but going forward, I think we're just going to conserve water more often instead of leaving the water run on for a long period of time.
And then you said it was a good lesson for the kids. You're a mom of a 9-year-old. I'm sure it hasn't been easy. How have they been doing?
He thinks it's hilarious. He doesn't have to take a shower. So between that,
that as mom and a boy.
Yes.
Between that and we went to the store to just scope it out that Sunday the water ban started, and he thought it was almost like the zombie apocalypse because he got to see people roll out of bed.
All right, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know so many people, it's been a conversation about this water ban, the reason for this water ban, and the potential for other communities to run into situations. I love your sense of humor and your point of view on this, and thankfully, everybody seems to be okay in your community and your household, so thanks for talking with us.
And a lesson for conservation. Love that, too. All right, your tropical update is coming up next. This morning, all eyes on Tropical Storm Bertha and all eyes on Jim Cantor, who's in-house to tell us all about it.
Covert ops, double agent, spy thriller. You don't know ARP. Thanks to the AARP Tech program, this guy is spying on his new grandson. AARP Tech gets people better connected to technology to better connect with each other with social media, digital devices, and apps. If you don't think #LoveDad when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
Joe makes fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Premiering Sunday at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready? Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening. Otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Is getting out. Purina Dog Chow Light and Healthy is a deliciously tender and crunchy kibble blend with 20% fewer calories than Purina Dog Chow. Isn't it time you discovered the lighter side of Dog Chow? Purina Dog Chow Light and Healthy.
And so the conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were there.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin migraine works.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
Nexium, the purple pill, is now available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Because the best moments in life aren't experienced from the sidelines. Now, there's nothing holding you back. This is Nexium Level Protection, the #1 prescribed acid.
When you compare the top speed of DSL from the phone company with the top speed of Comcast Business Internet, well, there's really no comparison. Why pay more for less? Call today for a low price on speeds up to 150 megabits per second and find out more about our 2-year price guarantee. Comcast Business, built for business.
No matter how much I loved my mother or my sisters or my wife, none of that mattered because they always came second to heroin. Everything did.
I didn't know at the time the power that the drugs had over him, and I was so afraid of losing him, and I knew enough about B-Hop, and I knew what they could do. To me, it's amazing. It's almost like I wish somebody would pinch me and make sure that, I'm not dreaming.
If someone you know is struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, please call or visit us at interventionnow.com.
229-4977 now. That's 1-800-229-4977 or go to growup.com.
Only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive? Oh my God! Premiering Sunday at 9 on the Weather Channel.
8 minutes before the top of the hour. Good morning, Seattle, and sure does look absolutely stunning. A lot of kids there going back to the classroom this morning, and you couldn't ask for better weather for all those great pictures you want to take on your front stoop or at the bus stop. Going to be high 80s, nothing but sunshine. Beautiful Pacific Northwest there, Seattle, Washington. Sam.
I miss you, Seattle. I miss the San Juan Islands this morning, Jim.
Oh, I heard about those shots.
You've got to go. It's so incredibly beautiful.
That is a beautiful place.
All right, you've got some new information on the Hurricane Hunter aircraft going in to kind of investigate some of these.
It's interesting. We talk about the Air Force Hurricane Hunters out of Biloxi all the time. We sometimes forget about the NOAA Hurricane Hunters that come out of MacDill. They're actually leaving Tampa this morning at Weather Dog my buddy Brandon told me about this, going out to Honolulu to actually fly missions for Julio and Izell.
That is a long
big
mission.
Threat for Hawaii.
Yeah, and I mean, they need to be a little concerned about it, the kind of rain that it would bring, all of that.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I mean, we don't have to have a full-blown hurricane here to have big impacts in Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right? So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Bertha, Julio, and Izell, which is a major hurricane here, working its way on off toward the west. Here's a look at Bertha. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not much. I told you I wasn't impressed this morning, and I'm still not impressed, to be honest with you. I mean, unless you're flying, Sam, in these deepest thunderstorms, that's probably about the only place you're going to get a tropical storm force wind right
now. As it passes, are we concerned about rough surf, rough tide, tide time flooding?
There'll be some rough surf, but I'm telling you, you're not going to notice it because there's so much going on here with this surface front. I mean, I would be more worried about, honestly, in Charleston, if this stuff drifts on shore at the time of high tide and that rain falls in Charleston, then it can't get out. All right? So that's going to be a huge problem today in Charleston. And, you know, right now, thank goodness, a lot of this is offshore. Let's hope it stays that way. First couple visible pictures, you can see them right in through here. A big cloud canopy, but again, the bark is worse than the bite, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll show you that from the Hurricane Hunters. So the Hurricane Hunters came in from St. Croix, flew both of these thunderstorms, and as a matter of fact, you can see where they got the tropical storm force wind right through here. Brandon, let me know in my ear if they just put out a new recon message, because this hurricane force wind is something I haven't seen yet. Down and through here, obviously, when we don't have any wind or hardly wind at all, this is where they're near the center, so that's about right in through here. And then they went, again, off to the northwest, south, and then are flying back off to the northeast. It's what we call the alpha pattern. Either way, it's forecast to become a hurricane. It probably will, even though it won't be a pretty one, and then it'll get heading off to the northeast for the sea to deal with. All right, we've got Julio and we've got Izell. Izell is the lead storm. Julio will be a hurricane behind it. Izell is a major hurricane. You can see the eye right there. Look at the thunderstorms and the showers around the center. Almost perfect symmetry. You can draw a circle around the outer ring, and you can draw a circle around the inner ring, and it's almost equidistant to every side, and that means you've got just great symmetry, as we call it. Now, the reason why Izell won't be a major hurricane, or stronger, if it is right now, as it heads this way toward Hawaii, is because it's going over cooler water. All of this in orange is 80-degree plus. All right, down and through here. You get into the upper 70s and through here and even some 60s once you get up into this blue shade here. We're not going to have to worry about that. But either way, it's going to weaken the storm. That means it's going to come in as a tropical storm if it actually comes close to the big island of Hawaii or even Kauai eventually on its westward track. So here's Julio, 45 miles per hour, 1,004, moving west at 13. This is also forecast to become a hurricane. I think it could actually be a major 2, believe it or not, but we'll wait and see. Here are two models. The green is the European. The mustard color is the American model. Here go both of these storms pretty much in line with what the models see. Coming in Thursday night is going to be Izell, obviously, is a tropical storm. Then potentially on Sunday, you've got a weakened system, but this one comes in a little bit farther south. And if it comes a little bit farther south in terms of the track, it won't spend as much time over the colder water, so it could actually be more intense in time. So a lot of stuff to watch here, guys, especially for Hawaii. I can't recall the last time I've ever seen two systems come in from the east side, and this may be the first time for that, Sam.
Yep, we'll have a busy couple of days there. Thanks, Jim. And you need to come over here because now, when last we left Reese Waters, Jim Cantor threw it down.
Yes, he did.
And I don't know what's going to come up next. I'm not sure. Oh, Reese.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, you know what? I'm a lot like the pro sports scene in Cleveland, which now has a rare optimistic air about it. It's been 50 years since any Cleveland professional team has won a championship. Sam, you remember that? You were 25. But now LeBron is back home, and the Cleveland Browns have drafted arguably the biggest name to come out of college in years. That is Johnny Football Manziel. The Browns franchise really needs that shot in the arm. Cleveland hasn't won more than 5 games in the season since 2007 and has just 1 playoff appearance in the past 20 years. Before everybody gets too excited about Johnny Manziel, he may not even win the starting quarterback position. He's locked in a heated competition with Brian Hoyer, who's born and bred in Cleveland. He understands the weather. Johnny Manziel is from Texas. I say go ahead and start Hoyer. You're going to start terribly anyway. Put Johnny in there mid-season when there's no pressure on him. Now on to you, Mr. Cantori. Now, I missed the last answer by 2 days, and that's all. I have a question for you, my friend. Can you name 2 tropical storms with a longer track than Genevieve?
A longer track.
You only have 10 seconds. We're almost off the air.
Wow. I'm going to say no, I can't.
No, I know you can, but you may have to join us Tuesday. Have an amazing
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening. Otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, rise and shine, cool kids. This morning on Wake Up With Al, we've got a stormy start along the East Coast where it could impact your Monday morning commute and where drier conditions might take hold. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Bertha strengthening as it heads through the Atlantic, where it's headed next and who could feel the greatest impacts. Jim Cantori's got that story coming up. Plus, 500,000 Toledo, Ohio residents impacted by a weekend-long water emergency, all due to a toxic algae bloom. Nasty. What is causing the issues and what can be done to fix the city's water supply? That story and many more coming up on Wake Up With Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up With Al with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
And climb aboard, everyone. Good morning. It is Monday, August 4th, 2014. Welcome to Wake Up With Al. Al and Steph have the morning off, but we've got everyone from Jim Cantori to Julie Martin to Keith Carson. Gang's all here, folks. They're all joining me from Atlanta in just a few moments. But right now, let's get you started with the top 3 stories for the morning. So the top 3 weather stories are as follows that you need to know about. We got Bertha, big bad Bertha. Not really that big, certainly not that bad, but still a concern for us. We're going to keep it latest on that. And then, of course, the southeast storms start. And we have number 3, the northeast storms that will continue. So let's get rolling with Bertha. With Bertha, we're going to see this thing chugging its way, as Jim said a while ago, splitting uprights between the eastern seaboard and Bermuda. Boom, there it goes off to the northeast and into history eventually. Then into the southeast, Charleston, yeah, we're going to see some thunder boomers there. Tampa, Miami, even into Mobile and Houston. New Orleans may be in the fray for that also. And then we got the northeast, where from Bangor to Burlington, it's going to be booming in terms of the thunderstorm activity. Some scattered showers there too. Keep the umbrellas handy. We'll let you know how long in just a few moments. But first, let's go back to number 1, and that is a top story with Tropical Storm Bertha on the move as it begins to turn north and east of the Bahamas. So let's bring in Jim Cantori on what we can expect from the storm. Jim, take it away, my man.
Thank you, my brother. Let's talk about this. It is a tropical storm, but really, unless you're in those thunderstorms, it's not a very organized tropical storm, even though the winds are at 70 miles per hour. The hurricane hunters are out there. They flew out of St. Croix this morning. They completed their mission from Biloxi last night, flew home. St. Croix comes in. Now they're flying around this thing, and they've actually found a max flight level wind that's hurricane force, but you know, again, I think it's more in the thunderstorms versus than the actual, I guess, a real life situation in terms of what really. I don't think it identifies this storm, in other words. One wind gust to hurricane force does not identify a storm. 70 miles per hour, pressure 999, that hasn't moved. It's moving north at 16 miles per hour, 220 miles east of Abaco. All right, let's press on and talk about what else we gotten through here as we kind of advance the graphics, and we'll show you. This front, by the way, on the East Coast, to me, is a bigger player than anything, especially for the East Coast. It's not going to be this. These are the thunderstorms right here, one down to the south. There's another one right there, and there's another one. So those 3 towers are where all the action is with this. Well, the center is still positioned off on the northwest side. There is still some northwesterly shear coming in and keeping this thing, I think, at bay at the present time. So again, the front on the East Coast I would worry about because of the fact that as it sits here, it has the chance to focus showers and thunderstorms. Nothing to do with Bertha, but the fact that that front is there means more heavy rain from the Outer Banks all the way down into Florida. And to get more on that, let's talk to Keith.
All right, thanks, Jim. Jim, this is your new shift, right? Mornings? This is a new thing for you?
It's my new shift for another day, buddy. You got it. One more day.
All right, thanks, Jim. Right. Let's take a look at New Orleans right now. It's actually quiet at the moment. There's some showers and storms lurking offshore that we'll show you, and there's going to be some storms around this afternoon in Louisiana as well. We think the focus of the heaviest rain will be across the Carolinas, actually, where we could have some flooding issues. Let's take a look at the radar, though. You didn't see much on the picture there. You can see most of the showers and storms down to the south over the Gulf of Mexico. If we widen the picture, all the heaviest stuff is right along this stationary boundary, so just kind of feeding into that. We've got some pretty heavy thunderstorms for this time of the morning, and those will continue to move onshore. Take a look at the visible satellite. You notice two distinct features. Obviously, the front is there, but there's Bertha right there as well. And Jim mentioned this before, and it's totally on point. You're not as worried about Bertha here in the Carolinas. Talk more about this front sitting stalled over you. A lot of showers and thunderstorms rolling in there. That's going to be a much bigger problem than Bertha will be because it's going out to sea. So there it is through the afternoon, showers and thunderstorms, the Outer Banks through the Carolinas here. Some thunderstorms down across Florida as well. We anticipate, though, that the heavier rain will be on the Outer Banks and down into South Carolina. Reynolds?
Let's get you started on what's going to happen in parts of the Northeast, because Keith got you handled for parts of the Southeast, but Northeast too. Rain could be an issue in a few locations. Some of these loud this morning. Who needs the alarm clock when you have this? Notice we're going to see this system make its way in from the Great Lakes, and as it churns its way into New England, it's going to bring in more cloud cover, with it some thunderstorms, and the moist air, that's going to be a factor too, all coming in from the south. So hour by hour, can we do that? I think we can. I think we should. And let's show you as we get to the midday hours and into the afternoon, the showers become a bit more prevalent, and Buffalo could be fairly heavy a few times here and there, especially by the early afternoon into the evening hours. By 9 o'clock, you get the picture. Basically sporadic activity. So today is not going to be a total washout. Just keep the umbrellas handy. For tomorrow, more of the same, the showers drifting from west to east. Now, in terms of your news stories, I have the slightest idea what's going on, but I know someone who does, and that's Dara Brown from MSNBC. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Reynolds, and here's a look at what we're talking about today. Rescue operations continue this morning in southern China as a 6.1 earthquake hit the area over the weekend. At least 391 people were killed, more than 1,800 injured. Thousands of homes and buildings were damaged or destroyed. The Red Cross has already started sending in supplies. Big boys don't cry unless they're competing in the Spicy Food World Championship in Berlin. The challenge: eat 14 dishes and they get hotter as you go. This year's winner was a man from Macedonia. He outburned them. He ate a dish with chili peppers that registered 7.7 million on the Scoville heat scale. Yeah, I am not signing up to do that competition.
Are you kidding? I see spontaneous combustion. Look at that poor guy.
I don't know how they did it.
There are flames exploding out of his eyes and his ears. One person even collapsed.
No,
are you kidding me?
And I picked the jalapenos off of things. That's even too hot for me. I can't handle it.
I hear you. I think I saw Home Slice there tipping up a bottle of hot sauce drink.
That's not for me.
Oh, crazy. Now for what's on tap on the day ahead, let's go back to Keith Carson in Atlanta.
All right, thanks, Reynolds. Let's take a look at the west, where we have monsoonal moisture there colliding with an upper level low. So actually some pretty strong showers and thunderstorms. Some flash flooding had been a problem over the weekend. That may be a problem this afternoon as well. Through Vegas, they were in a flash flood warning earlier. Now it has been expired, but we'll watch these through the afternoon. They could put down some pretty heavy rainfall. Again, it is southwest monsoon season. That plus an upper level low causes problems. So here's Vegas. Thunderstorms, a good chance of them in the afternoon. For Vegas, this time of year, temperatures pretty cool, staying only in the mid 80s. They're typically low 100s this time of the year. How about the South Central? Well, we haven't talked much about them because honestly, not a whole lot going on. That's good news in Dallas. Temperatures in the 80s and then getting into the 90s. A few thunderstorms here in the Gulf Coast. We talked about that before with the stationary boundary down there in through Louisiana. But as you head to the north of that, it should be all clear. So a place like Dallas today, again, it's all about it being just warm and dry. Temperatures in the low 90s, clear and cooler by tonight. Stay with us on Wake Up With Al. We'll be right back.
Here's to the man who truly is the best of us.
Who really has the key to the city? With best-in-class payload and best-in-class cargo capacity and an unsurpassed powertrain warranty, you run the town. The all-new Ram ProMaster. Guts, glory, Ram.
Why is it smart to talk to farmers for your auto insurance? Because we believe that doing things right is more important than just doing them fast. And And because we don't want you to miss out on things like accident forgiveness, where we forgive an accident every 3 years without raising your rates. Talk to Farmers and get the coverage you want, not just the coverage that's fast.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call us today at 1-800-FARMERS.
This summer, save your Monday nights. The Coast Guard is back.
Look off to your starboard side.
And you can only find them on the Weather Channel. Woo! Tonight at 9.
Oh, God. Better sailboat high and dry over there? Oh, yeah.
The all-new season continues. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Tonight at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
I can do anything.
The bed reacts to your body. It hugs you.
It's really cool to the touch.
The zip's off so I can wash it. Yes, please.
Visit your local retailer and feel the Tempur-Pedic difference for yourself.
Stanley Steamer Carpet Cleaning is certified by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America for a cleaner, healthier home. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Hey, Super Mama. You gotta check out this Walmart back-to-school event.
Okay.
A Toshiba Touch laptop, just $349.
Sounds good.
Super comfy boy socks, only $497.
Oh, I definitely need socks.
Sharpie permanent markers, only $397.
That sounds good. Wow. A 10-inch tablet with a built-in keyboard.
That sounds good.
Get to Walmart's back-to-school savings event August 1st through 10th and save even more on Cyber Monday, August 4th. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Let's tackle all this with a splash of style. Let's go where they know what matters. Let's do modest budget, major makeover. Let's do we've got this, and a whole lot of look what we did. Then let's sit back and enjoy the view. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. For a limited time, shop our newest vanities starting at just $189.
And welcome back, everyone. Toledo, Ohio, where we are currently under a water emergency after a toxin seeped into the city's water supply. Now, nearly 500,000 people in Toledo are waking up to the dire warning from city officials. You can't drink water from the tap. The mayor is pressing Washington to act at this point. Our own Scott Newell is live in Toledo with more. Scott, take it away.
Well, we have an update now. About 40 minutes ago, Mayor Michael Collins of Toledo lifted that ban on drinking tap water. So that is the good news. They say that there are no detectable levels of the toxin created by the algae bloom here. That algae bloom was right next to the water intake for the city. Now, here's what residents are asking. Do we have to flush out our systems in our house? Well, for those people who have not used their water since Saturday, yes, you do have to flush the system out, and there are some instructions on the city's website on how to do that. But if you have used water regularly in your house since Saturday, then you don't have to do that. So that's the scoop now. Also, the city would like you not to go out and water your lawn and everybody wash their car, because that's going to tax the city's water system a little bit too much. Now, there's some other communities in southern Monroe County that get their water from Toledo. They still have their water bans on in Bedford, LaSalle, Erie, and Luna Pier. A lot of people there. The situation there is, even though they get their water from Monroe and from Toledo, rather, they're under the auspices, under the jurisdiction of Monroe, Michigan, and also from the Michigan State Health Department. So the Michigan Health Department has to give them the okay to go ahead and use their water again. So just to recap all of this, the mayor of Toledo, Michael Collins, has said that this ban is lifted on tap water, that people can drink the tap water now. Everybody has been, up to this moment, they've been using bottled water right now. A lot of people lined up at areas all around the city to grab stuff like this. They also had areas where you could take a container in and fill up your water container and get some drinking water. Now, even the hotels around here and the restaurants have had to deal with this. Hotels have had signs up all around saying, don't drink the water, don't drink the water. And a lot of restaurants, for example, I stopped off at a drive-through restaurant today and asked if I could get something that was made with water, coffee. They said no, they didn't have any water available. Now, a lot of the restaurants around here have been bringing in bottled water so they can cook with that. Now, of course, that is not necessary. In a nearby community, Oregon, they had no problems at all. They have a separate water system. They had been treating this water, and they didn't have to have a ban on their water system at all. So they were always in the clear. And a lot of people were traveling over to Oregon last night to eat at restaurants over there. So they were pretty packed back in Oregon. I should tell you about this whole algae bloom thing. Algae blooms are very common in the Great Lakes. They have certainly been here for the last several summers, and they are something that normally doesn't cause a problem like this, but because this one occurred so close to the water intake of the city of Toledo, that's where the problem came. The amount of toxin was really quite small. The WHO, World Health Organization, says the allowable level is 1 part per billion. Now that's about 1 drop of water in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That is what is allowed. The tests right up until early this morning showed it was very close to that level. The mayor of Toledo at 3 o'clock in the morning held a rare press conference that said, no, I'm not ready to make that call yet. I want to wait just a little bit. So now, though, at 9:30 Eastern Time, made the decision, yes, the ban is lifted. So that's the scoop here. We're going to take a break and be back with more here in a bit.
To remove this spaghetti stain, let's compare an entire tub of OxyClean to just a half a cup of Clorox bleach. Okay. How is that called clean? Clorox. Eliminates stains better than OxyClean.
Pillsbury knows that bold, bright color makes everything more exciting. Like these 4 amazing colors of Pillsbury Funfetti that turn everyday moments into celebrations of delicious fun. Celebrate more vibrantly.
Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Ours is a world of passengers. The red eyes.
I'm really tired.
The transfers.
Well, that's kid number 3.
The co-pilots. All sitting, trusting, waiting for a safe arrival. Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy, designed to help the driver and you care for the passenger in them. The Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
This family may love their tree, but a colony of ants will use these branches on a roofline like the Autobahn.
But I know where they are. Going from here to there. And one time a year to bait them with protein, one to bait with fat. I just shut down their freeway like a jackknife 18-wheeler. To catch a pest, you've got to think like a pest. Not just in any home, in your home.
Sunday nights, only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive?
It's coming toward us.
For 8 straight Sundays, a new original series.
But we're almost there.
If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB.
Again? But we just went.
Ask your doctor about Mirbetriq, Mirabegron, to treat the OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage.
Seriously? It's time to go to the doctor.
Myrbetriq is the first and only medicine in its class for OAB.
Myrbetriq may increase your blood pressure. Myrbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Myrbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications, so tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Myrbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
If your overactive bladder is calling the shots, ask your doctor about Myrbetriq. Visit mybladder.com to see if you're eligible for a year's worth of savings on Myrbetriq.
Supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP. Don't wait. Call now.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Nationwide Insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Folks, so we meet again 20 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. This is a beautiful shot of Fort Lauderdale, Florida this morning. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms for your forecast on your Monday. Man, not a bad way to get things started. May do without those showers, but that's one of the things that keeps things so nice, lush and green across parts of South and Central Florida. Well, after a relatively quiet tropical season in the Atlantic so far, a lot of people are keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Bertha as it heads north and just to the east of the Bahamas. So let's bring in Storm Tracker Jim Cantore at the expert desk in Atlanta. Jim, this system, a couple days ago didn't look all too good. Now we're dealing with the tropical storm, possibly a hurricane in several days.
Yeah, it still doesn't look very good, in my opinion. They did find at flight level a wind of almost 100 miles per hour, but that was in one thunderstorm. The pressure has not changed. It is still at 1,000 millibars. It has not changed at all. So until that pressure starts dropping rapidly, I'm not concerned about it. But either way, it's not going to affect land, and that's the good news. The West has me more concerned with Isabel, which is a major hurricane, and Julio, which is going to be a hurricane. They are going to potentially impact Hawaii. Again, confidence continues to grow in that. You'll notice 1, 2, 3 thunderstorm clusters within this very lopsided system. There is wind shear from the northwest over our tropical system, and that is helping to keep the tops off to the southeast. It's also helping to keep the system from not organizing very, very quickly, and that's why I don't think you've seen a pressure change. This shear is going to weaken. And I think we may be starting to see signs of that. Certainly some of the outflow channels are stronger on the south and east side, but even they are not great at this point. Okay, so here we go. Here's this 100-mile-an-hour wind we just had a little while ago with the hurricane hunters. They came, again, north, flew through, found about 65 knots, came on the outside, then went back through, and it's right at this pass, right where my arrow is, that they got the 100-mile-per-hour winds. Again, that's at flight level, though. That's not at the surface. You'd probably take take about 80% of that and estimate a surface wind, which would still be hurricane force, but I don't know if that's what's going to be enough to give them a hurricane here in about 50 minutes. It is going to become one as forecast. We do think in time. The shear is going to wane by tomorrow morning, certainly. Late tonight, tomorrow morning, it could be a hurricane, and then it'll gradually weaken and transform into an extratropical system. All right, so we've got Iselle and we've got Julio here. Iselle is a major hurricane. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. As a matter of fact, it may even be stronger than the 125 miles per hour from the last advisory. I mean, that thing is an absolute buzzsaw. The reason why it's not going to be as it makes its way to Hawaii is it's very hard to approach Hawaii and get into these sub-80-degree water temperatures and survive. That's typically the reason why we see these things weaken, and we do think it's going to do that. Notice the official forecast has a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm somewhere Thursday evening in Hawaii. And then there's Julio. Stick around. Much more to come here on Wake Up with Al.
Okay, Jim, thanks so much. Next up on deck, we've got Minneapolis for you. Both sides of the river dealing with cooler air that's going to be funneling across the region today. That lovely shot compliments of NBC Powerhouse KARE TV. Gotta have the E in there. Gotta have this too. Take a look at that Smurf blue air mass that's coming in across parts of the Great Lakes. Heaven sakes alive, that cold front's gonna make its way through the Great Lakes, and when it does, your temperatures aren't gonna go up. Oh no, they're gonna drop a bit. Cooler air is gonna make things anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees cooler than average. Cool air in Minneapolis, the 83 degrees, the expected high. Chicago, you're gonna manage about 84. Notice in Detroit for tomorrow, 79 degrees. Cincinnati with 87, a little bit warmer there in parts of that river city. In St. Louis going to 90 degrees, kind of humid too in St. Louis, so be prepared for that. Wednesday comes calling, bringing with it a range of highs going from the 70s and 80s. Chicago with 77, Des Moines with 77 in the Corn Belt. Detroit, your average high is 83 degrees. We're going to be anything but, staying right at and below that point as we get into Wednesday. All right, folks, thunderstorms, they're firing up across the southeast today. You could see some heavy rain and flooding in some spots. We're going to have that story for you, give you the timing coming up in a few moments. Umbrella weather. Yep, that's what's coming.
This program brought to you by Purina, your pet, our passion.
Get ready. Fancy Feast broths. They're irresistible, completely unbelievable, totally delectable. Real silky smooth or creamy broths. Everything she's been waiting for. Carefully crafted with real seafood, real veggies, and never any byproducts or fillers. Wow. Being a cat just got more enjoyable. Fancy Feast broths. Wow, served daily.
You know what I love, America? Fine barbecue, good times, and zero heartburn. And that's why I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn. Because it gives me zero heartburn.
Prilosec OTC. The #1 doctor-recommended frequent heartburn medicine for 9 straight years.
You can't beat zero heartburn.
Prilosec OTC. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Under the roof of a home or business, damage can happen. When it does, turn to the specialists who put help in the palm of your hand. The Ready app and emergency response plans from 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Like it never even happened.
Until the conversation turned, until the sun went down, and many fantasies were there. On that day, keep feeling fascination.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Breaking news from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
Seeing 2 men that have climbed the Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Talk to a State Farm agent about car loans that can save you hundreds. That's borrowing better.
Toaster-strudel. More fruit in the filling. Yeah? Yeah. Warm, flaky, gooey. Toaster-strudel.
Now with more fruit. Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane.
Just total chaos.
If you think you've seen it all, look again.
You've got to be kidding me.
A new original series, Hurricane 360, premiering August 18th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorm. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or 2 this evening, otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Hey, you, up and at 'em. Hey, this morning on Wake Up with Al, keep the rain gear handy because showers and thunderstorms are firing up as you start the new work week along the eastern seaboard. Find out how long you'll be dodging those raindrops coming up. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Bertha continues its trek through the Atlantic this morning when it could become a hurricane, and who could feel the greatest impacts? We're going to check in with Jim Cantori coming up. Plus, we're taking you into the storm and behind the scenes of a movie profiling the dangerous job of storm chasing. All this and much more right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Oh, good morning, good people. If you're keeping score, it is Monday, August 4th, 2014. Welcome to Wake Up with Al. Al and Stephanie, if you haven't noticed, they've got the morning off. But we've got everyone from Jim Cantori to Julie Martin to Keith Carson. The gang's all here, folks. They're going to be tuning in from Atlanta in just a few moments. But right now, let's get you up to speed on the top 3 weather stories this morning. Here you go. First and foremost, we got Big Bad Bertha. Not really that big and really not that bad for the time being, but we're going to follow that for you. Number 2, the southeast storm starts. Stormy start for a lot of kids who are heading back to school. I know, diabolical, right? Starting school on this early, it's crazy. And then we have our third story about the Northeast. But first, Bertha, up. It's going to make its way right through parts of Bermuda and the eastern seaboard. More on the particulars coming up. Southeast, a rainy start from Houston to Mobile, Tampa, Miami, all the way from Key Biscayne to Charleston. You can't rule out a chance of thunderstorms. And the rain moves into the Northeast, too, and will set up camp in places like Burlington, Bangor, possibly Buffalo before the day is out. Boston might have some showers. Certainly rainfall back into the Berkshires. All right, but first, we got to get you the top story. And the top story this morning is going to be about Bertha as it continues to move its way north and east of the Bahamas. So let's bring in the man with the plan, Jim Cantori. Jim, we've been following this thing for the last couple of days. Very interesting seeing the fluctuations. You think it's going to get stronger or is it going to fall apart on us?
No, I think it's going to get stronger, and it's trying to do that now. We just found from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft a 100-mile-per-hour wind at flight level, all right, which is pretty good. But the pressure hasn't dropped, okay? So maybe what we'll see is a corresponding pressure drop after that. And the shear is starting to wane, too, so that is something that we have to keep an eye on as well, Reynolds. So center probably about right in through here with this particular hurricane. Not incredibly strong banding features that we really don't see a lot of the the low-level winds coming into this center from the outside. Usually you'd start to see some cumulus fields out and through here if this thing really had a great circulation, but it's very, very tiny. And you can see a couple of thunderstorm towers on this, 2 or 3 or 4, as we show you the visible imagery here. But it's not incredibly well organized at the present time. However, it still could become a hurricane. There's that 100-mile-per-hour or nearly 100-mile-per-hour wind that we got from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. They started, again, a few hours ago, probably down and through here, making their first pass. Ooh, that's a big circle. Anyway, for making their first pass down and through here, and then obviously going through some of these thunderstorms, getting the tropical storm force, which they're still getting now. Looks like they're coming around for another pass, so they may be done because the new advisory is coming out in just about 30 minutes. So they've got all the information they need. You know what? If you were to say, Jim, are they going to make this a hurricane or not? I'd probably say no. Not yet, but it's close. All right, Keith, we'll keep an eye on this for you, but we do know that it's not going to impact the East Coast, but something else will, won't it?
That's what we call a lead-in. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, it's taking you to Miami, a place with small bikinis and lots of thunderstorms. We're going to see a lot of thunderstorms today as well. Most of them right now are offshore, but they'll kind of rotate into southern Florida, into the Carolinas as the day wears on. Let's have a look at the radar picture. This Miami right there. You can see these showers and storms off to the south and southeast. A lot of the heaviest moisture here, though, in through the Carolinas. Now, you'll notice a lot of it at the moment is still offshore, but that will change as the day goes on. We'll see these thunderstorms kind of just roll back and see how slow they're moving. That's why we have some flooding concerns for the Carolinas. Your visible satellite picture this morning, really interesting. This Bertha that Jim was just talking about, Hurricane Hunter's moving on out of that, but this is the bigger concern. It is a stalled out stationary front with a lot of showers and storms, a lot of moisture along it. So we have a flood watch in effect across North Carolina and northern South Carolina because some of these areas over the past 7 days have seen 5 to 8 inches of rain. So flooding, a cumulative thing. You get rain on top of already saturated soil, you're going to have some problems. So through today, these thunderstorms will rotate on inland, getting heavier with time, and that's when we could see some flash flood warnings turn up. All right, what's going on in the Northeast? Let's take you to New York City, where it's busy in Times Square. Got lots of tourists out there. It's actually going to be okay in New York today, but a lot of spots nearby will see showers and thunderstorms, particularly across New England and then off across western parts of Pennsylvania. That's part of that same stationary front all the way down here. That's some of that moisture. Some thunderstorms in through the mountains of Maine this morning, had some flash flood warnings there. And then here's another front coming in. Now, these fronts aren't that strong. They're just really like upper level disturbances coming down from Canada. Limited moisture, but enough to touch off showers and thunderstorms. So the bulk of this juice is offshore. Here's that secondary front coming through Tuesday and then stalling into Wednesday, giving us a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Not anything severe, maybe a few flooding problems here and there. So today it's New England, northern New England, particularly into the mountains, the White Mountains, Green Mountains, and into Maine's mountains as well. And then by tomorrow, we see more widespread shower activity, again, largely across northern New England, upstate New York. Reynolds?
All right, thanks so much. You tackled the southeast. Now let's take a look at what's going to happen in the northeast. We're going to see more thunderstorms pop up. You get the stalled front, but that's going to be your kicker that's also going to tie into some of the colder, or rather more mild air, moist air coming in from the south. The cold air behind it contrasting, and that's where you have your thunderstorms. Scattered variety, mind you, for today. For tonight and tomorrow, we're going to see still the chance of raindrops in your forecast. Stubborn stuff, folks. It's going to stick around for you. From Burlington to Albany, Pittsburgh outside Heinz Field, you might have some showers there too. And as Wednesday comes calling, it's going to bring some shower activity with it too. That's the only place we've seen the heavy rainfall. California certainly had their share. We want to turn now to Southern California, where more than 2,000 people were stranded after flash flooding and debris flow cut off access to 2 towns in the San Bernardino Mountains. This happened on Sunday. The storms dumped as much as 3.5 inches of rainfall to the mountain area. This all above Oak Glen. First responders were searching for people in need of rescue. You can see the damage, with some vehicles actually buried in the mud.
Heavy downpours in the area caused the roadways to be completely blocked by heavy debris, mud, rocks, boulders, basically splitting the town in half.
Awful story, folks. The stranded include 500 people who had arrived at a Forest Falls campground. This all on Sunday morning. Now for time now for a check of the headlines this morning. We've got Dara Brown with us this morning. Dara, I'm sure you got a lot to cover.
We do, Reynolds, and here's a look at the top stories that we're following today. Good news at the pump. Gas prices are at their lowest average since 2010. That is the word from GasBuddy.com. Regular gas has dropped about 15 cents a gallon since July 4th, but it gets better. The website predicts prices will keep dropping. And less is more when it comes to video games. There's a new study out of the University of Oxford. It says game playing less than an hour a day resulted in better behaved and more sociable kids. Kids who played games for more than 3 hours, well, that had the opposite effect.
No way. You mean when you're basically focused on a game, you're not interacting with anyone, it's not good for you?
No, it's not good. I want to know what happens in between that 1 and 3 hour span, though. Is that good? Is it bad? Is it
Inquiring minds. Crazy stuff. Thanks so much for the stories. Here's Keith Carson with more on your day ahead.
All right, thanks, Reynolds. Let's start in the southeast. We're going to see a lot of showers and thunderstorms today from Orlando down into Miami. Again, the heaviest moisture there will be in the Carolinas. We could have some flooding concerns. We most likely will have at least some flash flood warnings there through later this afternoon as that front just not going anywhere. A lot of moisture feeding into it off the Atlantic and from the Gulf of Mexico as well. Atlanta, though, down here, it's actually pretty nice. Temperatures in the upper 80s. Going to get hot in Atlanta in August through midweek. Shocking, isn't it? Into the mid-90s at that point. Meanwhile, the upper Midwest, a few showers around through the afternoon. A lot of spots, though. In Chicago, most of the day is going to be quiet. Those showers and storms won't pop up till the afternoon. Cleveland, Indianapolis should stay dry through the day and then clear overnight. Reynolds?
Well, folks, this Friday, the new movie Into the Storm hits theaters. Following a group of storm chasers as a small town is ravaged by tornadoes, this movie is a must-see. And just ahead, we're going to talk to the stars of this film. Hear what it was like to make the huge summer movie. That story coming up right after your local weather on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening. Otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's always the same dilemma. Who gets the Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check?
Rock beats scissors.
Wife beats rock.
And with 2 checks a year, everyone wins.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely only from Allstate. Call 877-218-2500 now.
Zach really loves his new camera. Problem is, this isn't Zach. It's a friend of a friend who was at Zach's party and stole his camera. But Zach's got it covered with Allstate Renters Insurance.
Protect your valuables for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 877-218-2500 now.
What are you doing?
We're switching car insurance.
Why?
Because these guys are the cheapest.
Why?
Good question. Because a cut rate price could mean cut rate protection.
You should listen to this guy.
With Allstate, you get great protection, a great price, plus an agent, and safe drivers can save up to 45%. Call now and see how much you can save.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
Do you remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson digital motor? Before it gave the DC59 motorhead powerful suction and perfect balance in your hand for cleaning those difficult-to-reach places? And before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush bar power by 75%? DC59 Motorhead outcleans the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin migraine works.
All right, we are the police family! And
And this is our Chex commercial. There's lots of choices, and each of us has a favorite, like chocolate, honey nut, and cinnamon. There's no artificial colors or flavors. That's good. And it's gluten-free. So we're jumping for joy because it's full of what we love, free of what we don't. And that makes for one very happy family. Chex, full of what you love, free of what you don't.
We don't sit idle, wondering how we're going to build a better truck. We get out there and walk a mile, thousands of miles, in the footsteps of the guys we build trucks for. The groundbreaking Ram Heavy Duty, with 30,000 pounds of towing and 850 pound-feet of torque.
Hey, Super Mama. You gotta check out this Walmart back-to-school event.
Okay.
A Toshiba Touch laptop, just $349.
Sounds good.
Super comfy boy socks, only $497.
Oh, I definitely need socks.
Sharpie permanent markers, only $397.
That sounds good. Wow. A 10-inch tablet with a built-in keyboard.
That sounds good.
Get to Walmart's back-to-school savings event August 1st through 10th and save even more on Cyber Monday, August 4th. Save money, live better. Walmart.
And welcome back, everyone. 42 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. Chicago this morning. Got a chance of some scattered showers there. This is a shot from WMAQ, the NBC powerhouse. Might see a rumble of thunder there. And you see in your forecast from 10 o'clock onward, more showers moving across parts of the Great Lakes. Detroit, Michigan, might see some showers there, too. Maybe near some steakhouses. Then over towards, let's see, Peoria. Inside joke, guys. And then back into Buffalo, might see some raindrops there, too. Some of these could be severe by tomorrow. Across the Corn Belt, Northern Plains, could see some very strong storms. Can't rule out a chance of tornadic activity. Might have some flash flooding in locations where the rain is especially heavy. There you go from Des Moines into Wednesday, just north of St. Louis over into Illinois. Strong storms all but a certainty, but it's going to be north of Des Moines, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Be ready for that. And then across parts of the Dakotas, might have some heavy rain there too, up to an inch of rain across parts of the Ohio Valley and mid-Mississippi Valley. All right, folks, so storm trackers are involved in a very dangerous business as they collect information and data to help us learn more about deadly tornadoes. There is a new movie. It's called Into the Storm. Easy for me to say. Exactly. There you go. It's early, folks. And it showcases just how intense these storms can be. Take a look.
What the hell is that? Guys do for a living?
They chase. I study.
Hey guys, it's splitting. There's another one. There's 3, 4. They're everywhere.
I study storms all my life. This one is bigger than any storm that has ever been.
Wow. Wow, just fantastic. Well, joining us this morning are two of the stars of the film, Richard Armitage and Sarah Wayne Kellys. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Incredible movie. You know, you played the part of the storm chaser. You're the meteorologist.
I did.
How much research went into preparing for this role?
You're looking at 90% of it. I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying this because we're here. We woke up, and those of us who were on the storm team, me and Matt and Nathan and Jeremy, we woke up and we just went brushing our teeth and trying to do what you do and sound as authentic. Because you don't actually know what you're talking about, right? You just make it sound like it's
yeah,
she was
make it as
girl. On set, when I needed to know anything about tornadoes, I'd just knock on your trailer door and you knew it.
But you would never have known if I was lying to you.
That's true.
You would never have known. I knew what vorticity meant at one point.
Okay, well, you're the meteorologist. You play the part of the assistant principal, but at the same time, you're also a dad, and you've got a little bit of issues with the son.
Yeah, and the son that I have the issues with gets lost in the storm, which is a sort of, you know, a double whammy, and I have to go in search of him and try and get him back. What's interesting about Gary is that he is the one character that doesn't kind of hold onto a camera because the entire movie is found footage. So Gary's really kind of at the centre of the storm and kind of bewildered by what's happening, which I quite enjoyed playing.
Yeah,
like being very uninformed about what's happening next. It felt very real time.
Well, and speaking of what's happening, obviously this is a fictional movie. There were a few creative, artistic liberties taken with the film. Can you talk about some of those?
Well, you know, what was interesting to me is at the time that we shot the movie, we shot it almost 2 years ago because it took a while to get all the effects in. There were certain things that we thought we'd made up, like the fire tornado and that kind of a thing. And since then, you can actually see them on YouTube. Like, the weather has been changing so quickly that a lot of what we thought were somewhat far-fetched effects have actually manifested in the real weather, which is, you know, troubling.
Most of the research was going to YouTube looking for this kind of footage. And what's interesting to me is not always what you see, but what you hear, because the way that people are reacting to it, because they cannot believe what they're seeing. And it's exactly what our story is. And what I love about it is that there's this, it feels like dramatized news. You know, sometimes you're watching excerpts of the film and it could be, you know, footage that you would see on the news.
Absolutely. Well, fantastic story. Certainly a serious message. Telling people, you know, these storms are not to be trifled with. These tornadoes, I mean, so deadly. And we see, unfortunately, every season, people that lose their lives in these horrible things. But thanks so much for the movie. Certainly a wonderful summer hit. And folks, thanks again so much for getting up early the show. Now let's send over to Keith Carson. He's in Atlanta with a check of the 7-day forecast. Keith, any severe weather we're going to be seeing?
Well, luckily, Reynolds, not a whole lot going on here as far as severe weather. We are going to see some flooding maybe in the Carolinas. That's a story we'll watch for you as the day progresses. As we head into tomorrow, showers and storms across the Midwest. This red area means maybe a little severe weather in the Central Plains. Meanwhile, the West Coast, dry when it doesn't need to be. In the Pacific Northwest, they need some rain. They're not going to get it, unfortunately. The showers will continue in the Midwest through Thursday and then diving down into the southeast by Thursday afternoon. There are a few showers in through northern New England, also a possibility. The weekend, though, looking good across the Midwest and the Northeast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Reynolds?
All right, thanks so much, Keith. We got the tropical update coming up in just a few moments, but first, take a look at your back-to-school forecast for Atlanta. Kids, starting the day off at the bus stop with 70 degrees. By the time you head home, 86 with partly cloudy skies, hot and humid. Forecast coming up.
How's the camping trip? Well, kids had fun, but I think I slept on a rock. What are you doing?
Having coffee.
Sounds good.
I thought you'd say that.
The best part of waking up.
Wake up to the mountain-grown aroma of Folgers.
Folgers in your cup.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
make fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Premiering Sunday at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening, otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin migraine works.
Duralast is tough. It can take the cold and the heat. Trust me, this battery can beat up your battery. Duralast, proven tough. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Oh no. Can you fix it, Dad?
Yeah, I can fix that.
I wanted a car that could handle anything.
I fixed it!
That's why I got a Subaru Legacy.
Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 36 mpg.
I gotta break more toys.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
Michael, where's your car?
At the body shop?
What happened?
Oh, just a little misunderstanding with a big truck.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, but I don't think our car insurance company likes us anymore.
Need car insurance? Go to thegeneral.com or call us now. Monthly payments are low, and you pick your due date.
Okay, I have...
Living with chronic migraine feels like each day is a game of chance. I wanted to put the odds in my favor, so my doctor told me about Botox, an FDA-approved treatment that significantly reduces headache days for adults with chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. It's proven to actually prevent headache days, and it's injected by my doctor once every 3 months.
The effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't take Botox if you have a skin infection. Tell your doctor about your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Put the odds on your side. Visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com to learn how to save on your treatment. Talk to a headache specialist today about Botox.
Personal preferences and locking in today's prices.
Request your free burial planning kit now.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane. Hurricane 360, premiering August 18th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
All right, kids, many of you heading back to school. Here's what you can expect in Indianapolis, and I hope it was a good summer for you. It's going to be a good start to your school day. You can be living home with 65 degrees and skies that are sunny, but by the time you head home, talking partly cloudy skies and 82 degrees. All right, kids. Well, coming up on the show tomorrow, the storm chaser from Into the Storm joins us in studio. We're talking to Matt Walsh, plus Dr. Rick Knabb is going to be with us. He's the director of the National Hurricane Center. He's going to join us to let us know what you need to know about hurricane flood threats. Right now, we are still keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Bertha with Jim Cantore. And Jim, this really has been the little storm that could.
It is. It could so much that it's now a hurricane, believe it or not. As of the newest advisory, we have Hurricane Bertha at 80 miles per hour. We have Category 4 Hurricane Iselle out and through here. We've got Tropical Storm Julio. And both Iselle and Julio are threats for Hawaii, not as they are, but I will talk about what they are going to be, which of course is more important. All right, so the hurricane hunters have been out here all morning long, and they have found some pretty impressive winds at flight level as well as at the surface with some of the drop sondes that they drop down in these things. So as of that data, we have gotten ourselves a nice 80-mile-per-hour storm. Now, the outflow channels aren't super, but there are some of them here. Not seeing a tremendous amount of inflow coming into this, nor did the hurricane hunter aircraft say that we got a definable eye wall, closed eye wall all the way around this. They said that they noticed an eastern eye wall, so it's in the process of becoming a hurricane. But it's kind of amazing to see those kind of winds with something with a pressure around 1,000 millibars. That's a pretty high pressure for that kind of wind. Anyway, you can see what they've done. They've gone in, got a lower pressure here, when these kind of dots drop off to near calm with these winds, and went in obviously just recently and got the last fix. But it's this one hurricane force wind that they got, even at flight level. This is just the flight level that pretty much tipped it off, and eventually we had those surface winds with the drops on right around 100 miles, or right around 80 miles per hour. So the storm at 80 may top out as 80 and then eventually head off to the north and east, maybe clipping Newfoundland as it transitions towards extratropical, but you know, that'll be a pretty good blow but it'll be a quick one, probably just a few hours as it goes on by, and this becomes an extratropical storm. Now here is Iselle. Here is a look at Julio right in through here. Both of these, or I should say, Julio will eventually become a hurricane. The problem is they're both making a beeline toward the Hawaiian Islands. Now, the good news is for Iselle, this thing is a monster. You can see the symmetry around this. In other words, you can almost put a circle right in the middle of that other circle that I made, and you can measure to each side of the circle, and it's equidistant. So you almost have perfect symmetry with this as it works its way off to the west. And that's what you're going to find in the Category 4s and the Category 5s. You will will find that sort of thing. Notice as we kind of overlay the cone on top of the water temperatures here, you will notice that the water temperatures are slightly cooler, even though a lot of that data has just covered up my water temperatures. Right here is about 80 degrees. All right, everything below that is 80. Threshold is 80 degrees for a tropical system, and the storm will pass over areas that will not be 80. But here is a 70-mile-per-hour strong tropical storm on Thursday afternoon approaching the Hawaiian Islands. All right. Winds, again, with Julio remain at 45 miles per hour. Pressure's at 1,004. It's moving west at 13. It is forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane by, the next 48 hours or so. And you'll notice both of these models actually take both of these systems off toward the west. This is the European in green, and this is the GFS in mustard. Close enough here, guys, with both Iselle and also Julio to cause impacts to the Hawaiian Islands. We will be watching this intently. Keith, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. Let's take a look at what's going on out west. This is not a story we want to neglect because we do have flash flood watches here. It's part of the southwest monsoon, sure, that's part of it. The other part is an upper level disturbance kind of feeding into this. So some of the storm reports here, highways in Ludlow cleared there with debris across some of these roads. So you have some landslides going on as well. Look at the rain to the north of Vegas. Vegas earlier today was under a flash flood warning that's since been canceled. But a lot of juice here. Again, you get the southwest monsoon down here and also an upper level low. So they're kind of interacting in a way that amps up the overall pattern here. Here's a look at the water vapor, and you can see the low. See that swirl right here? So that's feeding in some additional moisture into the southwest. That's why we have a large area, relatively large area, under flash flood watches, and then those warnings popping up as the day rolls on. So there's that moist flow coming around the high and upper level low. So just watch the desert southwest for more than average amounts of rain over the next couple of days. Reynolds?
That'll do it for our 10 a.m. edition of Wake Up with Al. Thanks for spending part of your morning with us. Weather Center Live with Jen Delgado and Mark Elliott's coming up next. And I'll be back with you tomorrow morning with Al right here in New York City. Have a great day, everyone.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a stray thunderstorm or two this evening. Otherwise partly cloudy. Low 76. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Breaking news, Bertha is now a hurricane. It was a tropical storm, but since then we have seen strengthening out of it, and we're going to continue to track now Hurricane Bertha. But right now we want to show you the latest, the advisory. Right now, located about 230 miles east-northeast of Great Abaco Island. Now the winds 80 miles per hour, pressure 998 millibars, moving to the north at 17 miles per hour. So it's got a pretty good forward speed, but we are seeing some intensity. And Mark, this is what we expected out of this.
Yeah, absolutely, Jen. A forward speed that is increasing and will continue to increase over the next several days. Here's the latest on Bertha. Now an 80 mile per hour top wind speed. We have had hurricane Hunter aircraft in the area dropping instruments down into the center of the storm. They estimated much stronger winds, and that's why we got this upgrade. So now 80 mile per hour winds. Pressure has fallen a little bit. It was at 999 millibars, now at 998. Another way to say that this storm is getting its act together and getting stronger as it continues to sit over the very warm waters of the southeast Atlantic here. So here's another view of the storm. This is the enhanced satellite, a camera looking down from above. The colder cloud tops get the brighter red colors, and what you can notice here is that some of those brighter colors have fizzled right at the end. Sometimes as the storm goes through these cycles and tries to get organized, you get these ebbs and flows of those big thunderstorms near the center of the storm. If we see this wrapping up a little bit more and we see more of those bright colors later on in the afternoon, which we are anticipating, we will still have some strengthening out here. Zooming out just a little bit, you can see basically the environment, why this thing has been able to strengthen. You see these kind of puffy white clouds coming out the bottom of the storm. These are basically the lungs of our tropical system. Bertha being able to have these outflow winds coming around the storm, letting the upper level system kind of evacuate the area, more rising motion, more heat off the ocean, all these things helping to strengthen our tropical system. That said, we don't have perfect inflow. We're getting some interaction with this trough off the coast, and that's why this thing's going to be turning away from the east coast. That trough is protecting the southeast. So Tuesday, an 80-mile-per-hour hurricane. By Tuesday evening, still a 75-mile-per-hour hurricane. Might get some effects towards Bermuda, but this will not be a direct blow for Bermuda by any stretch. By Thursday into Friday, the Canadian Maritimes and eventually all the way out across the Atlantic once again. But that's not to say that you're not going to have any impacts for the East Coast. Here's our storm. Here's that kind of trough for the east, and they do interact together, bringing an increased shower threat to areas that have been extremely waterlogged as of late. So flooding a concern for the East Coast, plus a rip current threat as well as a high wave threat for any boaters. Lots of vacations still going. Sure, the southeast is going back to school, but there's a lot of wave activity out there here still. Just a little bit offshore, you quickly jump to 2 to 5 feet, if not 5 to 8 foot waves. And as our winds get better organized and our storm kind of bends along the coast, Jen, we are going to see those waves get pretty close to the coastline itself. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely dangerous right along the coastline, despite the fact Bertha is not going to be making a direct landfall. We start off right now giving you 3 shots today. We're looking at Myrtle Beach as well as into Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, and Miami, Florida. And you get the idea there. Not a lot of sunshine out there. We're going to be looking at more storms across parts of the southeast. Yeah, it's sorry to say, but unfortunately, we still have that stationary front across parts of the southeast. So let's show you the forecast. Yes, rain is going to be in the forecast for today, as well as some thunderstorms out there. As we show you from July 31st to August 3rd, the numbers have been quite impressive out there. Almost 4 inches in some of these locations like New Bern, as well as even into Charlotte. More rain than you want to see when you're talking about the end of summer. Well, right now we have flood watches in place because of all that rain.